Hi, you're listening to Abbacahabra Radio. I'm Abby, your host, and on this podcast we talk about manifestations, meditations, timeline jumping, tarot card insights, astrological insights, literally whatever comes up. Happy to have you guys here for the ride. Hello, my friends. Here we are back with another episode. It's interesting to me that I always wonder when people do podcasts, because I listen to tons of podcasts, like literally all day long at work, which is highly recommend. But anyway, I always wonder if people come up with I always say hello my friends, here we are back with another episode, and I always wondered if people did stuff like that on purpose, or if it's just something that happens. And in my experience, it's just something that happens. It's just the way that I end up starting every episode, because it's just what I do. I don't know, and I don't know if that goes for everyone, but if you were wondering, it didn't start planned, but then it's what I say every time. So I don't know, programming I guess. Today's episode, I actually have an outline, which is wild, because of the 43 other episodes I've ever put out, I had no outline, I had no plan, I was just kind of winging it. So we'll see how different this is. It's probably going to be exactly the same as all the other podcasts I do, but I hope you guys like it anyway. So I'm just going to dive in. How wild is it? I had this thought the other day, we are literally living in our manifestation. The idea of manifestation is not even manifesting, conscious creation, law of attraction, all that shit is just a way of explaining the fact that we are a fragment of the universe that creates its own piece, and we aren't even creating anything. We're just aligning with different realities. Go to my timeline episode, I think it's one of the first 5 episodes I've done where I talk about what time is. That's an important one if you're going to listen to this part of the episode. I don't know. If there are millions of different timelines that are playing out, an infinite number of timelines that are playing out, we are only aligning with what vibrationally we're just aligning with different realities. That's all it is. We're not creating anything. Creation's done. Creation's already done. The things you want already exist. The realities that you want already are happening. And that might give some people a lot of peace. It gives me a ton of peace, and it might make other people freak the fuck out. My little sister hates it when I say there are millions of different realities. She does not like it. I say it anyway, because to me it's true, but to her, she's nope, this is no. And that is fine. To each his own. Believe what you want, don't believe what you don't. And that's what's beautiful about this reality, is you're gonna see and experience what you affirm, which is actually great, because that's what I'm really going to talk about in this episode anyway. But I've really been opening up to being the one who quote unquote creates my reality, really in depth over the past week. I've always been obviously not always, but for the for the whole podcast at least, because I woke up, went to sleep, woke back up a few times, but the second big wake up is me obviously being aware of this stuff being real to me. It's real to me. It's not real to everybody, and that's okay. And I just it's really within the last week I have really been honing in on affirming, confirming, and having it reflected back to me that yeah, you're creating this is your design, this is your alignment, and it really makes the things that Abraham Hicks say make more sense to me, because I love listening to Abraham Hicks. I love the books, all of that, highly recommend. But Esther would always say it's done, and I wouldn't understand it until it really how many times am I going to say really? A million. Clicked with me that we're aligning with different realities. It's not even aligning with your creation. It's aligning with the reality that thing that you want exists in. So if you are in a reality right now where you are single and you want a reality where you are in a loving relationship, what does that version of you look like? And do that. And that's how you're going to align with that reality. And that's what timeline jumping is. That's what reality shifting is. It's just aligning with a different reality, okay? And the idea of that like, you're doing it anyway. You are shifting realities anyway. The idea of timeline jumping is just a conscious way of doing it. The idea of conscious creation, the idea of manifestation is just a conscious way of moving into a reality that is more favorable for you. And it's not actually that difficult. All it takes is for you to, like, really, one, open up to that idea, because if you're not open to that idea, you're not going to be able to do it easily. But two is consistently hold that, like, this is my reality. And then you, since you are the one who is putting out all of that energy, when you consistently do that, that's when you see reflected back to you the timeline that you actually want to be experiencing. So, like, for me, when I met my boyfriend, like, I was in a place where I was in a lot of situationships or a lot of things where, like, guys weren't really giving me, it wasn't great, okay? Early 20s wasn't great for me dating. It wasn't. I met my boyfriend when I was 24, and it was, like, right before I met him that I energetically made the decision, like, no, I am not settling for less anymore. I want a relationship. It wasn't like, I want to get married. I just wanted a relationship. And then I got it. And it took maybe a matter of a week for me to vibrationally, energetically, and physically, because you have to bring that change into the physical, decide, no, this is what I want. And then it happened. And I've been very happy. And, like, the less effort that you put in, like, when things are a no-brainer to you, like, it didn't take a lot of effort for me it took no effort for me in the physical, really, to get into that place of, no, this is what I deserve, this is what I'm going to experience now. It was all mental, and it was all, like, vibrational, and it was all, like, belief system wise, because if I believed guys just treat me like crap because I was gonna keep getting that. And I got that out of my head. Now that I'm, like, thinking about it, like, I got that out of my head, and I was like, no, like, I'm not even entertaining that anymore. Like, not even as a worry. It was just like, I am going to have this because I'm done having that. I've experienced that enough, and now I want to experience a relationship. I want to experience, like, dating someone who wants to see me and who values my time. And I did. And it's been lovely. So don't feel like you have to put a ton of effort into it. You don't have to say any freaking affirmations if you don't want to. You don't have to vision board. You don't have to journal. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do any of those things. They just can help you get in that alignment with the reality that you want to be experiencing. Reality is a film strip. I've talked about this in other episodes, but I feel like I need to say it again for some reason. So if you missed that one, go back, listen to it after this. There are, think of an infinite number of film strips, and we are just shifting in through millions of them every second, like millions of them every second, because every movement, every breath, every change, every whatever is a different film strip in a different reality. It's all still. It's all stills. But we are shifting through them so fast. That's what gives us the idea of movement, or not the idea of movement. That's what generates movement. That's what generates change, because, like, when you are shifting through millions of them every second, but they're all stills, you know, like, if you think of an actual film reel, that will be a really good way of being able to visualize it. If you don't know what a film reel is, go Google it. I don't think any people who don't know what a film reel is would be listening to this, but hey, I don't know. So yeah, this is my recipe. I'm going to share with you my recipe lately for effortless manifestation. I hope it works for you, because it's been working for me. First, you want to, throughout the day, say affirmations that you do believe. They might be ones that you don't believe, like, full-heartedly, but affirmations that you at least believe to some degree. And you want affirmations that, like, confirm that you create your reality. Because that is the number one affirmation that is the most important for anything like this. Alignment, manifestation, conscious creation, all of that shit. Because if you don't believe that, you will not be able to do it. That is first and foremost the key thing. So that's why I like to explain, like, we aren't even manifesting. We're just aligning with a reality that is more favorable to us, and we're doing it consciously. Manifestation's a great word for it. Conscious creation's a great word for it, because saying all of that is a mouthful, and I don't know how to say it like more concise than what that is. And reality shifting seems really, really like, whoa, like, it sounds like something nobody can do. No, you're doing it anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, manifestation, you're doing it anyway. It's already happening. We're just going to do it consciously. So after you start affirming throughout the day, a few times a day, that I create this reality, you want to acknowledge the fact that you do. So when something comes up, when you have something that you're like, oh wow, I did that, like really be like, oh, I did do that. Like look at different things during the day, like synchronicities, like little things that you're like, wow, that happened. Or like when you have, let's say you think of someone and then they pop up. Yeah, you create the reality. You thought of them, they popped in. Last night I was meditating, and I didn't know when my boyfriend was coming home. He was like out doing work. And in the middle of my meditation, I said, I want him to come home during this meditation. I want him to come home before it's over. And then it like went out of my head. I was like, whatever. He came home like right as it was finishing. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I create my reality. Okay. That's like, you need to get into that mindset. Like, so when things like that happen, when you think of someone and they call, when you think of a customer and they appear, that's you aligning with that reality. You are creating that, or you are aligning with that, however you want to see it. Okay. Acknowledging it is going to help you believe more further that you do actually align and create it, okay? And then you're going to affirm that your reality takes care of you, or that your world takes care of you, or that the universe takes care of you. Those are the two key affirmations. I create my reality, but that the universe always takes care of me. Which, saying it out loud now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, because you're like, well, if I create my reality, then don't I take care of me? Yes, you do. You are ultimately the one who is taking care of you, but you are a fragment of the universe, so you're a piece of the universe. So yeah, you're taking care of you, and the universe is also taking care of you. It's all taking care of you. There might be things that happen really randomly that are like, oh, I was in the right place at the right time, and maybe part of you is like, okay, that's not me, and you want to give that power to the universe. It's easier for you to say, okay, the universe takes care of me. Cool, give it to the universe. The universe took care of me that time. Great, awesome, okay. That's helpful for, like I said, like when you don't want to, when you feel like you can't take ownership for that thing, let the universe take ownership for it and be like, great, but affirm that the universe is taking care of me, right? Another one, which is helpful, not quite as important as the last two, but one that I think is useful, is of course X, Y, and Z happened because I deserve X, Y, and Z. Of course I won that contest because I win things easily. Of course I won that money because money loves to come to me. Of course that person wants to see me because I help people, or of course that person wants to go out on a date because I'm freaking hot. I don't know, like whatever, like when you have scenarios coming up, you want that affirmation of like, oh, of course that happened. Like you want it to be a no-brainer, not like, oh, yes, I got it. I finally did it. No. Of course it did. Of course it happened. There was no other option. Of course that happened. Like, of course I met my boyfriend. There was no other option. There wasn't any other option. That's a great, wow. I didn't plan to like use that as a example, but that's worked really well for this episode. So I am pumped about it. Those are the only affirmations you need. Those are the 3 only affirmations that you need. Other ones will help, but if you don't believe them, they're not going to do jack shit. They're not going to do diddly squat. They're not going to help you, because if you don't believe them and you say them, then you're going to be looking for them. You're going to be giving out the energy, I don't have it, and then you're going to be aligning with the reality that you do not have that thing. So you don't need any other affirmations besides those ones. Use those ones and go align. I don't know. But the main thing is, with that practice is you are creating new neural pathways in your brain, that you create your reality, that you are aligning with realities that are more advantageous for you, that you like more, and you're doing it consciously, and it making that a no-brainer for you is what is going to thin that veil of manifestation, thin that veil of a lag. These are facts now. You do create your reality. You are aligning with more favorable realities. You are taken care of by the universe. Of course you can have what you want. Those are facts. I want you to remember these are facts. And after time, that is going to be solidified more and more with things that you experience. And as you look for pieces of your reality that you experience now that acknowledge that and you bask in that, they're just going to keep happening more frequently until you are going to really feel like the master of what you're doing. And you're going to be able to shift through things, and you're going to be able to move through things a lot easier. Like, literally, when I wake up in the morning now, my first thought is either, yes, I get to make this day whatever I want, or reality takes care of me and it's exciting. Or, like, I wonder what awesome things are in store for me today, which is not what I used to think in the morning. I used to think, I'm tired, I want to go back to bed. Or, I don't want to go to work today. Like, no, I'm looking forward to being awake in the world and to experience whatever I create today or whatever I align with today. With that, you do need to make sure that you are taking accountability when you experience contrast. Contrast is not bad. Like, we're going to have it. We are humans, okay? This is not going to make you not human. This isn't like 4D whatever. This is merely a way of just navigating things way more fun and way easier, and maybe to make things happen that you want to have happen a little bit faster. We are not spiritually bypassing, okay? If you try to jump a timeline or to align with a timeline, like, and completely disregard the reality that you were in where you were having a problem, that problem is going to follow you, because that is still in your subconscious, it's still in your belief system, it's still in there. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having not favorable outcomes. There's nothing wrong with contrast. I manifested a freaking car accident, okay? When you can take a look at why that has unfolded and what part of you was playing out in that scenario, you probably won't have it happen again. Like, I manifested a car accident because I was spiraling and I was out of control, and I felt like I had no support from my family or people in my life, when really I didn't let anybody support me, and the car accident made me lean on everybody besides me. It was like the time where I couldn't drive. I was afraid to be in a car. There was a lot of things that were going on. Also, that feels like a freaking lifetime ago, even though it was in June and it's November. So, like, it had to happen because I needed to prove, like, I needed to play out that, okay, no, you've been crying out for support. Here's some freaking support. Lean on these people. Lean on that. You don't have to be the support for everybody else. Like, you can let other people support you too. That's been a big cross to bear in my life. I just wanted to, like, put that part in. Like, you can't jump away from problems, okay? But you can timeline jump. Because we're always timeline jumping. So let's do it consciously, okay? Yeah. So I know a few episodes ago I was talking about alcohol and my mindset with it, and how I felt like I was going to not really be drinking as much on Halloween. I didn't even drink that much. I had a few drinks. I didn't get, like, drunk or anything. And the next day I felt so shitty that I was like, I'm over it. I'm just over it. I'm over the idea of alcohol for now. And I haven't had any alcohol since, which isn't really that long. It's November 3rd. It hasn't been that much time. This isn't a sobriety journey or anything. It is I have noticed over the past few days, because I am really, really, like, honing in on this, like, my inner reality creates my outer reality. When I drink, I don't have control over that inner reality. I basically go to sleep to everything and then, like, totally react and act a totally different way than I would if I'm sober or not drinking. And it's not always great. It's not terrible. I'm not, like, a monster. I don't do awful things. I haven't done ridiculously bad things, and I'm still in a good place, but, like, as I think about it, I'm like, why do I need to, like, give all the power of my mind up? What, like, it just doesn't, to me, for something clicked in my head on Sunday after Saturday, and I was like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And I felt that pull. You guys know I felt that pull for, like, probably over a month now, and, like, it just doesn't make sense to me to, like, drink in excess. Okay, we're going to a wedding this weekend. I'll probably have some champagne, but, like, and I'm going out with a girlfriend tonight. Honestly, I think I'm probably gonna have mocktails. Maybe I'll have one drink. I really, really don't know. I've heard that doing like energetic protection before you have alcohol is really smart, because then you're not keeping like Anna Grace Newell talks about it, love her, about how like you leave holes in your energetic field when that happens, and then other like spirits, like wine and spirits can get in, and then it's not even you acting out and stuff. It's like it's the spirits. I don't know. So maybe I'll practice like a grounding energetic thing and see what happens. I don't know if I decide to. But yeah, the idea of alcohol, it's just not my thing right now. But again, this isn't a sobriety thing. This is really I just don't see the point right now. Also, maybe it's because I'm 28. That could be why. And I don't want to have any hangovers. They fucking suck. Another really awesome thing, I'm really pumped about this. I've been doing this meditation for the past few days. It's Joe Dispenza meditation. It's one I've done a million times. But I've done it differently this time, where you bring the like energy from your perineum up through your spine, up to the top of your head. You hold the energy there, and then like you hold it for a little while. So that's a great meditation to do. And I found a 12-minute one on Spotify that I've done. And in that, what I've been working on doing is essentially creating new neural pathways, because as I'm breathing that energy up and I'm holding that energy in the top of my head, that's when I'm saying these affirmations of like, I'm creating my reality. Like, I'm aligning with the best reality for me, and other affirmations that feel really good. And I've noticed that as I've started doing this for the past few days, they are becoming my like no-brainer thoughts a lot faster than if I just was repeating it all day or had like wrote it down or whatever. Like, it is becoming ingrained in my brain significantly faster for that to be like a new thought that I like just inherently think on autopilot. So that's really exciting. And yeah, maybe I'll walk people through that. I don't know, if people want a guided meditation on that, let me know. I could put it out there somewhere somehow. And my last note about the manifestation recipe, things to remember: familiar. Why can't I say it? Familiarity recreates the past. When you do the same things over and over and over again every day, when you have a routine, because I don't know about you guys, but I love a routine. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. If you do these exercises, you need to be open to change. You need to be open to like driving a different way to work, changing the way that you're dressing, changing your hairstyle, changing where you eat, changing what you eat. You need to be open to it. If your body's saying something like, I want to have this, listen to it. Because that is what is going to anchor in that new reality. Doing the same things that you were doing before you started this work is going to give you a lot of the same autopilot thoughts and a lot of the same reflections back. So by shifting little things and being open to change, that is how you are going to like really anchor in the new reality. So in addition to saying those affirmations and doing those practices, being open to things being different, looking different, sounding different, is going to go a very, very long way. I tried this yesterday with like just being open to things being different. I didn't go out of my way to make things different, although I did have an inclination to like drive a different way to work, and I did, and I was like, okay, cool. But like yesterday was the first day I think I lived the day without feeling like I had to control the circumstances. Like I really just was like, okay, that's what it is. All right, that's what's happening, and just kind of rolled with it. And I wasn't my boyfriend and I usually go out Wednesday nights or something, or we hang out Wednesday nights because he works earlier in the day, and then we have like the night together. And he was like, oh, I gotta go do work with this person, and we're going out to dinner, we're blah blah blah. So I'm like, great, have fun. And then like didn't think about it. Wasn't like, when are you coming home? What's going on? No, I went and I hung out with my nieces, and I had a fabulous time. And then I came home and I got to take like a nice, beautiful shower and do my meditation and spend some time to myself. And then like I said, like I was doing my meditation and I thought like, I want him to come home, and boom, he was home. So it was, and then at work, like, you know, things happen. Craziness happens all the time. I just rolled with it. That never happens. I never just roll with it. I did. So I'm working on practicing that more too. But yeah, be open to change. Be open to shifting things a little bit, because those shifts are the new timeline. Your new timeline is not going to look the same as your old timeline. Not everything will look exactly the same, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm not kidding when I say I think this might be my favorite episode that I've ever output, so I guess doing an outline is a great idea. If you guys have reading requests, whatever requests, questions, send it to abbacahabrapod@gmail.com. I'm putting the email in the show notes. And I got my Instagram back. It was gone for like a few days, and it's back. So you can follow me on Instagram at Abbacahabrapod. That's it. Abbacahabrapod. Yeah, that's what it is. And I share a lot of little short clips. I'm trying to repurpose a lot of my TikTok stuff over onto that, so you'll see those. And I talked for more than 12 minutes. I doubled my average podcast time. So this is the best podcast I've ever done. I love you guys so much. And until next time, this is Abby, signing off. Bye!